Hey everyone, I'm Laura Gadenik. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of September 2nd through the 15th, 2024. Apologize for being late on this video, but the energy from yesterday, Monday, September 2nd, is still, I would say, very much with us today on the 3rd. So on the 2nd, we had a new moon in Virgo opposite to Saturn. So new moons are times of beginning, times to plant seeds, times to initiate something. And Virgo is a pretty critical, exacting, precise sign. So this is all about starting something well, with a look at the details, with a look at maybe what hasn't worked in the past and how you might fix that or change it to make it better so that this new beginning can have a better beginning than past beginnings. Especially with this new moon being opposite to Saturn. Saturn is very critical and I would say is a planet that's also very kind of perfectionistic and has high standards. And so this new moon feels like a time to problem solve, or this new moon cycle feels like a time to problem solve, to kind of get to the bottom of maybe what's not working or what could be improved or how things could be better. The thing to watch out for is being overly critical and maybe having too high of standards. It could feel, if this is showing up in interpersonal relationships, it could feel a little rejecting or like you're not good enough, or like you can't quite get it right. So be kind, and if you have feedback to give someone or to receive, just making sure you're using I statements, non-judgmental words. Nonviolent communication is a really great resource and tool for communicating if there's any conflict or anything that needs to be tended to or resolved or fixed. But I would say it is a time of revision, correcting, seeing what's not working and how it could be better. And we can totally do that without being judgmental or mean or critical. So on the same day, and we're still feeling this today, Mars in Gemini makes a square to Neptune. Mars is about our energy, how we are doing something, going about our days, how we're spending our energy. And Neptune is a little bit wonky, nebulous, confusing, draining. So you might feel kind of maybe even confused in terms of how to take action or move forward on something, or kind of like what to do. You might feel a little bit tired, drained, exhausted, kind of like, what do I do next? Everything feels like a mess. It feels kind of messy. And so with this kind of aspect, I would say it's really important to go slow and be careful. And you might not have all the answers of like where to go, what to do next, how to move forward, and that's okay. We're moving, this transit only lasts for a couple days, and we're moving out of it. Mars will head into Cancer on Wednesday, the 4th, so that'll be a shift in that energy. But yeah, Mars square Neptune. Make sure you have time to rest, leave room for things to be messy, which is a little maybe contradictory to that that new moon in Virgo opposite Saturn that requires exactness or preciseness, or this desire to maybe figure things out or improve things. We might want to do that and have that inclination or desire, but the Mars square Neptune might be like, well, but how and with what and what's the problem? Like, there is a problem, but I'm not quite sure what it is or how to fix it. So yeah, it's a little bit maybe more of a challenging energy. And then Tuesday the 3rd, Venus in Libra makes a conjunction with the South Node. So the South Node is a point of releasing, letting go, putting out into, and Venus is a planet about relationships, love, beauty, sex, art, expression, collaboration. So this could be a time where you're kind of letting go or releasing what no longer works in a relationship or what no longer serves. You might relationships might end or dynamics might end, or you might find that you've gotten what you needed. There might be some shifts happening in relationships. Chani also says, Chani Nicholas, who's a really amazing astrologer, she has a podcast. She calls it a pouring out of. So it might also be a moment where you're pouring out or releasing something into the world in relation to art, expression, beauty, something maybe you created, creative project. So it could be that as well. But just notice kind of what you're feeling in relationships, maybe what if your needs are changing, your desires might be shifting a little bit. So, and then on Wednesday the 4th, like I said, Mars heads into Cancer. So Mars traditionally struggles in the sign of Cancer, and that's because Mars is a planet that wants to go and be direct and straightforward and face conflict. And Cancer is a sign, it's a sign about that is represented by the crab. And how does a crab move? But it scuttles sideways, side to side. So it's not the most direct sign. Mars and Cancer can be a little bit passive aggressive sometimes. If you are a native with Mars and Cancer, you might know what I'm talking about, because there's this kind of like desire to avoid conflict and confrontation because perhaps it hasn't been safe. Maybe you haven't been met well with any anger that you've had towards someone, or you might not have known how to express it. Mars being a planet also about anger. So with Mars heading into Cancer, and Mars is going to be here for a while. It's going to be here in Cancer for a while, head into Leo. I can't quite remember when, within about 6 weeks or maybe 2 months. And then it's going to retrograde in the very beginning sign of Leo and come back into Cancer. So we're actually going to have Mars in Cancer for months and months and months. And I can't quite remember how long that will be, but I'll be sure to put that in the next video. So we're going to be exploring this energy for a while. How do you face conflict? How do you face confrontation when it's uncomfortable? Cancer is a sign about home and family. What do you do about conflict that comes up in your home or with your family? How do you manage that? How can you simultaneously protect yourself and be direct and hold in your integrity, or keep strong with your integrity and not give in, because that's when resentment can be formed, basically. So let's see, there might also be more of a kind of protective energy over those that you consider family. There might be, Cancer is a sign about our security and safety, so that you might have to kind of fight for your security and safety. And this is going to be obviously impacting whatever part of your chart that contains Cancer. If that's your first house, it's yourself, it's your body, it's who you are in relationship, it's your identity. If it's your second house, it's your money, your finances, and your resources and your personal belongings. Et cetera, et cetera. So I have like a PDF on my website of all the houses so that you can go and download as well. Let's see, Friday the 6th, Mercury in Leo makes the third and final square to Uranus in Taurus. This is connected to the dates of July 22nd and August 18th. So think back to those dates. What was happening? What conversations were you in at those times? What messages were you receiving? What kinds of communications were you in? Because it'll be connected to that. And Mercury is obviously a planet about communication, exchanges, as well as deals, like buying and selling, merchandise, business. And Uranus is out of the box surprises, changes, turnarounds. So there might be a twist or a surprise that comes through, maybe a conversation that's unexpected, or you suddenly have to deal with something unexpected. So watch out for that. Let's see, Saturday the 7th, this is when the sun makes an opposition to Saturn exactly. Once again, Saturn is a planet that has high standards, is very exacting and perfectionistic. It's also a planet about boundaries, isolation, hard work, difficulty. Might feel a little harsh, might feel a little rejecting or isolating or just kind of not fun. It's kind of a reality check day where we come up against our limits. And that might be limits with our energy, our resources, with other people. Other people might have limits in terms of their availability, emotionally or otherwise. So good day to really show some compassion for yourself, for others as well, and to be with the parts of yourself that might feel rejected or alone. And you might just, there might be something that you're trying to do where you just get a no from the universe. It's just like, nope, not right now. You make a plan with someone, nope, canceled, you know. So just kind of be prepared for that. On Monday the 9th, Mercury heads back into Virgo, a sign where Mercury does very well. This helps us to get organized. This helps us to be detail-oriented, to look, you know, between the lines, to do any corrections we might need to do. Yeah. Mercury does really well in Virgo, and communications might be becoming cleared up also, because Mercury is also now moving forwards again in a direct motion. So things that have been unclear or miscommunicated or maybe missed, you might be kind of finding those threads again. On Wednesday the 11th, Mercury sextiles Mars. This might be a time where you say something courageous or brave, where you communicate something that you've maybe been scared to, or you put yourself out there and you like do something you wouldn't otherwise, in terms of like, you know, maybe you teach a class or maybe you start a business. Mercury representing merchandise and wheeling and dealing and businesses, and Mars being a planet about courage. Then on Thursday the 12th, the Sun makes a square to Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet all about growing and expanding and wisdom and confidence. Squares are a bit more of a challenging aspect, but you know, it's Jupiter, so it's like, what could really go that wrong? You know, this is a day about growing and expanding, but with the details in mind. Since the Sun is in Virgo, Jupiter is in Gemini, both Mercury ruled sign, Mercury being a planet very much so about the small components of life, the details. So desire to expand and grow, but having to like make a detailed plan of like how to do it, where to go. It's a good transit to get ahead if you can be disciplined and avoid excess. Sometimes with the Sun square Jupiter, there can be this tendency to overcommit, think you can do more than you can because of that like confidence of like, yeah, like we can do whatever we want, we can do anything. So be mindful of your energy. But it could also be a transit that gives you the confidence to try things that you otherwise didn't think was possible, and you might even surprise yourself. So Saturday the 14th, it's a really lovely day. We have Venus in Libra and her own home sign of Libra making a trine to Jupiter. These are the two benefics in astrology. They are all about good fortune and ease and relationships that are easy and that feel good, and celebration, amusement and entertainment. It would be really lovely for this day. It's a good day to just like relax and have fun and socialize, and don't work too hard. Like, don't push yourself. It's not really a day of accomplishment or of like goal setting. It's more just like relax and have fun. There could be, you know, a little bit of a tendency to overindulge, but sometimes we all need a little bit of overindulgence. And also it's a good day for financial interests if you're someone who likes to invest or make money. Like if you're like, you know, selling crafts at a fair or something, this might be a day where you make more money than you expected. So that is the tea. That is the astrology for the next couple of weeks. Please like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear how the astrology is impacting you. I am available for consultations if you're interested more specifically about how the astrology is showing up in your personal life. So please reach out. And I will be back in a couple of weeks for the next astrological update. And I hope you have a wonderful, lovely couple of weeks. Take care.